Okay, so please, somebody should just do a recap. Somebody should just remind us of what we did yesterday, so we can proceed of what we have to do today. Anybody, please just indicate with the hand show. Nestor, okay. NS, please, you can go ahead. Thank you. Mr. NS, please, you can go ahead.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, so yesterday we were talking about the various types of designs and the graphic elements and design principles with key design principles.
Like, can we just go ahead to name some of it, some of the design principles and the graphic elements that we saw yesterday, please? Just a recap. Yes, Mr. NS, you can go ahead. It's supposed to be active. We need to be very, very active. So, since nobody's talking, I'll start calling names. Okay. Daniela, thank you. Please go ahead.
Okay, yesterday we defined graphic designing and then we talked about the various type of graphic designing, which some of it were environmental designs. We talked about packaging designs, social media designs, marketing designs, and user interface and user experience design. Maybe I didn't get the name right. And then we talk about marketing designs. So that's some of the design that we talked about yesterday.
All right. Thank you so much, Daniela. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay, Fon Branzi, please, you can go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. So yesterday we touched on fundamentals of graphic design. So we talked of the design principles and the design elements like hierarchy, contrast, repetition, proximity, and all the like. That's
all right. All right, thank you so much. But now you did not really emphasize on which one is the graphic, with the design principle and which one is the graphic element. You just mix everything. So somebody that is just joining today might find it really difficult to understand which, like, what you're saying, like what you've named so far is it design principle or is it graphic or element. So please, you need to make it in such a way that somebody that is just joining can better understand. All right, it's fine. So can you elaborate on that? I don't know. Okay, if Brazil, okay, Sky F, please, you can go ahead. Sky F, please, are you there? Your hand is up.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah. Yesterday we talked about graphic design, talked about the different types of graphic design, and also the key elements and the principles. On the type of graphic design, we talked about branding, visual identity, publication, graphic design, web design, packaging, user interface, 3D design. And on the key elements, talk about lines, color, shape, space, and some others. Then for the key principles of graphic design, we touch contrast, hierarchy, alignment, balance, proximity, and repetition. Yeah. Then we also mentioned some key points about key principles like the key elements like color. We talked about the 60, 30, and 10, 60, 30, and 10% rule when it comes to color usage and graphic creation. I think that's in resume what I try to master.
All right. Thank you so much, Sky F. I mean, I think you've basically said everything. So that's much of what we covered this today. We started with what design is all about. We proceed with the different types of graphic design, and we went ahead to look at the different what makes up a graphic design, like what makes a graphic design a graphic design, like the design principles and the graphic elements. We all saw them, and then I think that was basically it. So today we're just going to continue with the graphic design, like we're going to, because here now with graphic design, you need to understand you need to understand some basic software that are being used to craft all what you see. For example, like today we'll mostly focus on Photoshop. Throughout this masterclass, we'll focus on Photoshop. But note that for you to be able to actually call yourself a graphic designer, you need at least to know at least 3 basic softwares. You can either use Photoshop or CorelDRAW. You can use now Photoshop or CorelDRAW for text manipulation, composition, and every other like make enhancing images, creating kind of manipulation like movie posters, social media flyers, and stuff like that. That's it with Photoshop. And also the reason why we do use this is because they have those tools that we can actually use. Like if I show you the interface here, like you can see the interface, it has those tools. If I have to create a new document, let me just create a sample new document. So it has those tools that we can actually use to enhance this image to make it look good, as you can see here, like this. But now the thing is that you cannot do this same thing in Illustrator, in Adobe Illustrator, because it doesn't have those functionalities. So for you to be able to work on flyers and make it pop, like make it blend it, like add colors, make it look nice like this, you need to use Photoshop. Now, there's another software. Now, also, if you want to create a logo, for example, you need to use Adobe Illustrator. You don't use Photoshop to create a logo. The reason being that Photoshop final output are raster images. When we say raster image, what does it mean? Raster images are simply images that like other are pixelated, that are made of mathematical squares. Like when you zoom them, they become pixelated. For example, if you have to zoom this, you see, you notice that at the end, each of these, I don't know if you can see my screen very well. You see those squares, those small boxes that are all around. That actually forms this square. Let me know if you can see those boxes, please. If my screen is clear enough so you can see those boxes. Can you see them? Please just comment that I can see. If you can see them, those boxes. Can you please let me know? Nobody's talking. Yes, I can see. Okay, thank you, Cliff. Thank you, Direl. Thank you, Daniela. Okay, yeah. Yes, so when you zoom an image like this in Photoshop, you see these squares. So now the thing is, the more these squares, the clearer the picture. So these are called pixels. Each of these squares is called a pixel. So this is actually what the pixel is all about. So that's the reason why you cannot use Photoshop to create a logo, because at the end, you don't know where they're going to use the logo. You don't know on which dimension they're going to bring that particular logo on. So it's not actually advisable to use a logo to create a in Photoshop to create a logo, please. Now, next is a Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator. With Adobe Illustrator, you're going to use it to create logos. Like if you want to work on anything that has to do with vector images. Now, vector images are scalable images that are the output is in such a way that no matter how you scale it, it's still going to maintain the size. So that's how I don't know if mine is open here, but when we get there, I'm going to also show you. I'm going to zoom so you see how it looks like. So with Adobe Illustrator, everything is in vector format. So with vectors that were very scalable, they're not made up of pixels like you have in Photoshop, and also they're well designed for creating any vector images, being it a logo, being it like coming up with the pattern, being it like even modeling and every other thing that has to do with just vectors. So that's it. And then the last one that you need to also know is Adobe InDesign. Another one that you need to also take note of is Adobe InDesign. Now, Adobe InDesign is simply used in creating publication designs, like what we saw yesterday. We said publication designs are simple design that have to do with books, like books, magazines, papers, like brochures and stuff like that. So those are publication designs. So when it comes to if like a client reaches out to you and they're like, okay, I need to work on a book. I'm working on this book. I wanted to work on it. I want to design it. You don't need to think twice. You don't need to know, okay. You don't need to know that in Adobe InDesign is designed specifically for things like this. So please note that. So you have Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. These three is very important. Unless you want to get into UI UX now, where you can start using Figma, you can start using Adobe XD, you can start use Sketch, and every other software that you can use Figma for prototyping and everything. Okay, so throughout this masterclass, we're going to focus on Photoshop. So we want to make sure that, because about Another after this, some of you will niche out to either brand designer, who most of the time you just be using Photoshop, Illustrator instead of Photoshop, because most brand designers use Illustrator to craft logo. Like I said, you cannot use an Illustrator to create. I cannot use a Photoshop to create a logo. It's not that. So after this, some of you are going to niche out. But again, this masterclass made in such a way that is at the end you'll be able to master Photoshop very well. So if you have any question, you can always ask with regards to this. So throughout this, we're going to cover Photoshop. But I can just glance you through the other two softwares, but then the main focus here is Photoshop. So that at the end, you can actually design a social media flyer, either for your business or for a client, or for your parent, for your friends, and all right. So let me know so far if there's any question. Okay, I have a question here. Aristi said, I miss out the difference between the three. Can you please summarize okay. Now the difference between these three, okay. Let me start with Photoshop. Photoshop output is raster. So meaning they are pixelated. So raster usually means that when you zoom it, you are going to see these pixels. If you look at my screen very well, this is Photoshop. So now when I zoom out, you see it's clean, and but if I zoom it very well, you start seeing this, start seeing all these squares. So these are all pixels. So we call these pixels. So we call this type raster, this type of image a raster image. You get. Now if we move to Adobe Illustrator, for example, the output of Adobe Illustrator is in vector format. Let me try to load it. If you can see it here. Let me try to load it. Take a couple of minutes. While it's loading, let's look at this. So, okay, this is it here. Let me just open. Now I cannot use it because I'm online and they need to pay. I've not paid for my license, so I need to renew my license. Okay, so I cannot show you now actually, but then, like I said, the output of Illustrator is in vector format. So meaning no matter how you scale it, it's still going to be visible. It's not pixelated. It's not like Photoshop where you have all these pixels. It's not made up of pixels. That's it. So whenever you're designing a logo, you're designing it in Illustrator because you don't know where they're going to print that particular logo. So you design it in Illustrator. Now you cannot do, the reason why you cannot do this in Illustrator is because Illustrator doesn't provide this functionality to enhance images like this and play around with background, with manipulation like this. It doesn't have those functionalities. You get. So that's why you can actually use Illustrator to work on an image, on a cover art like this. All right. So let me know if the difference is clear between these two first. Aristi. Okay, vectors simply means they are scalable. They are not made of mathematical boxes, Emanuela. It simply means that they are scalable. Like no matter how you zoom them, they still maintain the same quality. It's not like when you take a picture and you zoom, you start seeing it being blurred, you start seeing those square boxes and stuff like that. Is that okay? So it means that they are scalable. Okay, please let me know. Please let me know. Okay, thank you. Now, okay, the last one, which is Adobe InDesign, is also in vector format. The app is also vector. So, and it's used for designing books, magazine, brochures. In fact, anything that has to be any leaflet, you get any leaflet that be designed using InDesign. Is that okay? Although you can still design some of them in Photoshop, but then it's going to be easier because again, the way it's structured, it's very easy to play with pages and stuff like that. Meanwhile, with the Photoshop, it's going to be difficult to play around. And then also when you create like a pages and give some kind of a certain amount of resolution, your computer becomes very slower to manipulate those resolutions. So also take note, it's very important. Okay, let me please, I have a question. Let me start with so I didn't get the reason. Okay. Now, Daniela, let me know if it's clear enough, please. Oh, I should explain it again. I think the reason why Illustrator is used for logo design. Or should I say explain Daniela? I don't know. You cannot use Photoshop to design a logo. No matter even if they're in writing, please, you don't use it. You don't have to use it. Even they're just writing. Like I said, you don't know where that particular writing is going to be printed. So you need to always use Illustrator or any vector software, please. Okay, I have a question. Please, I have a question. Figma and XD etc. Are they used for UI only, or if not, what software is used for UI for UX? So Adobe XD, Figma, they're all used for UI UX. They have always for UI UX. Although some people use it to design design flyer, but you cannot really use to design a stunning flyer like what you have in front of you. So they're designed specifically for UI UX design. SkyF. Okay. So like I said, Mr. Ewang, you cannot use Photoshop to design logo, whether it's in text or whether it's in particular shape. No, we cannot. Okay. Please, I think that's basically. Okay, now I'm just going to take you through. So today we're going to look at the Photoshop layout, and also we're going to look at how layout design works. Look at guides, look at grids, and look at typography, text to spacing, alignment, and then we're also going to look at color theory and applying colors harmony in the project. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Let's start with the first one here. Now, when you open your Photoshop, for example, this is how it's going to look. Now, your Photoshop will not look like this. Mine is like this because I've been working throughout. So I've been working through. You can see some of my recent work here. So now, normally you should have some kind of empty spaces here, but then all you need to do definitely just see new. So you're just going to create a new. When you create a new, you have all these different stuff up here. So now, if you are designing something that has to be printed, of course, you need to ask the dimension. Or if you are designing something like maybe A4, A5, and stuff like that, you can just come to print here. You see all the A4, you can see your A5, you can see your A6, and whatsoever. You can choose your size here. If you're on your calendar, if you're designing a calendar, you know that, okay, calendar is actually A3 and A2, stuff like that. So you need to, so that's it. If you're designing something that has to be printed with a specific dimension, all you need to do is just to enter the dimensions here. And also, please, when entering the dimension here, take note of the measurement here. So with the measurement here, it can either be in pixel, inches, centimeters, millimeters, points, and pickers. Now, let's say you are designing something, you are being asked to design a banner. Let's say a roadside banner. Let's say your church is having have a crusade, and you want to design a banner for the crusade. And so all you need to do is to ask your pastor what's the size, because the road billboards are different. So you need to know the various size where they're supposed to be printed. For example, when I designed this, when I was designing for this particular project, for this project here, I had to. We were supposed to do billboards, so I had to ask the host who was in charge of the billboard that, okay, which billboards are we working on? What different dimension are we working on? Like you can see, if I turn this off, let me try to turn some things off here so you understand this better. Let me turn these things off. Okay, please 1 minute. Let me turn these things off. Okay, if I put this like this. Okay, let me turn some of these things off. Okay, let's take for example, look at this. Now, before I was able to actually understand before I was able to design this, I had to ask for the size, for the dimension of this. You get this dimension here. I don't know if you can see my screen, please. Let me know if you can see my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen, please. Just let me know.
Yes, I can see.
Okay, you can just type it in the comments. That'll be fine. All right, so you see the different prints here, the different designs here. So there's no way you can design without knowing the dimension. There's no way you can design one so that it's scalable on all this like this. This dimension is totally different. This is a portrait design. This is a portrait design. Why is a landscape design? This is a landscape. This is a portrait. This is a portrait, and stuff like that. So you need to also understand how all these things went to when they ask to design, you need to ask for the various dimension, because this dimension is slightly different from, as you can see, it's slightly different from this one here, and it's slightly different from this and this. So whenever you're being asked to design something, please ask for the size, for the dimension, especially if they're going to print them. All right, I believe that's understood. Okay, so back here, let's say we want to create a new social media flyer. So now social media flyer dimension is 1080 by 1080. And if you're designing a cover art that is acceptable by digital platforms like maybe Spotify, Boomplay, is 3000 by 3000. That's why you see my first custom whatever here is 3000 by 3000, because my last project was a cover art. That's why it's like this. Either album cover, either music cover, all of them are the same dimension, 3000 by 3000 pixels. Please take note, I'm here in pixels. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead. So please, when you do this, just make sure that you input your dimension here, enter it here, and then you can just go ahead. Now here, let's say here is the orientation. There are two different types of orientation. It could either be landscape or portrait. So when it's straight vertically like this, it's a portrait. Why horizontally like this is a landscape. Like what you have here, like this design here is a landscape. This is a landscape like this. This is a landscape. Why this particular one like this is a portrait. So you need to understand that. But then since the sizes are equal, even if I change it to landscape here, it's not going to change anything. So your resolution here, you can always leave it at 72 for social media. But if it's going to be printed, you need to use like 300. You know, the higher the resolution, the higher the quality of your work, and the higher it occupies memory in your computer. So you don't go and put 3000 by 3000 here. Meanwhile, here you're on centimeters. It's not going to work. It's going to freeze your computer because it's too heavy. So if you are designing something, let's say a flyer that needs to be printed, so when you ask for a dimension, they tell you that okay, it's 1 meter square. Okay, you know that it's 1 meter square, you need to convert the 1 meter into centimeters. So you know that okay, it's 100 meter, 100 centimeter by 100 centimeter. So you need to change this here to centimeters like this, and then you enter 100 by 100 like this. And then you enter 100 for the width and the height. Enter 100 here too, like this. But then we're creating for social media, so let's just use the default is 1080 by 1080, but I usually use 2000 by 2000 to make sure that my design has a very good quality. So I'll use my 2000 pixels, please. My 2000 pixels. Don't use 2000 centimeter. It's going to freeze your computer. Okay, here is my background. I'll leave it as white. Every other thing here remains the same. Don't change anything here. This is the color. Leave this color profile like this because it's very important, especially when it comes to printing. So always leave your default color profile. Don't always change it. So I'm going to click create now. So this is my Photoshop document. Like this is my Photoshop document here. My Photoshop document. Let me accept these people that are joining. So now with the Photoshop document, let's start with the very first one that we talked about, the guides. Now there's no way you can design without guides. Please, as a designer, always start with guide. Okay, yeah, there's a question. Okay, let me check the question. There's somebody with a question. Why can't we just use meter, but instead of convert it in centimeters? Okay, now Tamasan Emmanuel, Photoshop does not have meters. So the highest value, the highest SI unit for some of us that maybe did chemistry or physics in school or even in math self, the highest unit that you can actually measure in terms of meter is centimeters. That's why Photoshop provides us. So we don't have anything like meters. For example, if I just show you here, if I click here and let me just try to create a new document like this. See, there's nothing here like in meters. So the closest to meters is centimeters. So that's why. Is that okay? So that's why you need to convert it into centimeters before using it. So there's no meter here. Let me know if that's understood, please. All right, good. So now let's start with the guide. Please, as a good designer, always make sure that you use guides. Now, how do you activate guides? To activate guide, you can always come to view. You scroll down to show, then you see grid, you see guides, you see smart guides and stuff like that. So if you want to activate your grid, just click on grid. Grid are simply all these these boxes, it helps you to make sure that you position things well in your design. Let's say, for example, I want to add a text. I'll just come and click here to add my text. I'll click here, I'll add my text. Let's just say, now, once I click to add my text, this is my text here. This is called layer panel. It's a layer panel, it's a layer panels. And these are some of the properties of the text. So you can see the color here is white, a white background. That's why you can't see the text that I just created. So I'm going to change the color here to change the color here. All you need to do is just to click on this color here. By default is white. And then I'm going to click on this here, on any color here as well. And then I'm going to change it. Now, to scale it, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to press Control T. Please be jotting down this shortcut. It's very important. There's no way you can design, can be a fast designer without doing shortcut. Most of the time, I'll be using shortcut, and I'll explain all these shortcuts, please. So to scale it, to activate, they call it free transform tool, in order to be able to scale is anything, whether it being picture, photo, shape, whatsoever. You need to select it here on your layer panel and press Control T. And when you press Control T, now you can actually drag it like this by pressing, while dragging, make sure that you press Shift so that it maintain the size, the width and the height. Yes, Control T. Thank you, Aristi. Okay, so that's it. So this is my text here. By default, it's lorem ipsum. It's a default text, so some of us know it. So now I'm just going to change it to say let's say tutorial. Now I will need to change this kind of writing. So they call this, I will say this is a typeface. So I'm going to go to my properties. So if you don't see our properties here, please make sure that you go to Windows and scroll down to properties and properties. Make sure that it's activated. Make sure that it's ticked. Click on it now. You can see your properties here. So I'm going to drag this down. Now here I have different. This way you change your font. So I'm just going to click here. I'm going to give it a different font like this. Okay, if I want to turn off my guide, all I need to do is to go back to view. So we should go back to view. Now also before I turn off the guide, so if I turn off the grid, sorry, this grid helps me to position my text very well. For example, if I put this here, I'll make sure that okay, it fits, it lines up, it lines. You get. So I need to drag and drop it here so that it fits, so you can see it, so that it fits very well, in such a way that if I have to scale it, if I have to maybe put another something this way, let's say I duplicate it, let me just drag and drop it here. To duplicate like I just did, I press Alt or Option if you're using Mac, and then just drag it somewhere like this. So I can just drag and drop it somewhere here. Now, if you notice that I have two boxes to the end here and also have two boxes to the end here, although it's not balanced, because this is not the exact box. This doesn't have the exact number of boxes as this one. So I probably need to maybe shift it a little bit like this to make sure that both are balanced. So that's why grid is very important. So it helps you to simply align your work very well like this. So if I have to scale it down again, I'll press Ctrl T again, and I'm just going to scale it down like this. Tutorial, let me just call it tutorial masterclass. Let me put masterclass. Okay, now the reason why this thing is writing from the center is because now let's just talk about alignment. It's right from the center because of the alignment. If you notice here, the alignment is center. So whatever I'm typing is not going to be within the center. So if I have to push this way, if I have to use left align, I'm going to click like this, and it's going to align it to the left. So it means that whenever I'm typing, it's going to be typing from left to right. So I can also align it like this. So this is why it's very important to always have grids. Now let me turn off my grids. I'm just going to go to view, show, and then grid. I'm going to tick it so that it goes off like this. Now the next one here is guide. To activate guides, you need to go to view to, you get to show, and you go to guides, smart guides. Now let me go, is mine was tick, let me go and tick it again so that it's activated. Now for you to be able to use the smart guide, you need to drag and you need to press Ctrl R on your keyboard, or Command R if you're using Mac, like this. When you click it, it activates this ruler that you can see here, this ruler here, both left and as you can see on your left, and also both at the top here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to click on this ruler here, just click on top of the ruler and you drag, you press and hold, then you drag to go toward the center. Once you reach the center, it's going to snap. Just be watching. Toward the center, it snaps like this. Now they are telling me that this is, if you look at my X, can you read the value of my X in the middle, please? Let me know if you can read it. Please let me know if you can read what the value of X on my screen. Just comment the value if you can see my screen very well. Let me show that you're seeing my screen very well. Just type on the chat box. You've just typed the value of X. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. 1,000. Now, who knows why it's 1,000? Who knows why it's 1,000? Now, to save time, is 1,000 because remember this document is 2,000 by 2,000. So I'm at the center, which is 1,000, which is half of this the center, which is half of the entire box. So I'm at the center. So that's simply telling me that you are at the center here. So I'm going to release it. Once I release it, I'm going to have this guide here. Same thing here. I'm going to drag up and toward the center. It's also going to snap. As you're moving down, you're seeing the value as it's changing. So toward the center, it's also going to snap. See, it snaps and gets some kind of resistance there. You get some kind of resistance there. So this is called guides. Why this is called grids? All these small boxes, all these boxes that you're seeing here, all this like mathematic book is called grids. Okay, let me turn off the grids again. So these are my guides. So my guides help me to align my stuff very well. For example, if I need to align this at the center, what I need to do is to select it here, and then I press Control. I select the other one, and then I just drag to the center like this. At the center, it's also going to snap. See, at the center, they're telling me that you are at the center. That's why you're seeing that the purple line in the middle. They're telling me that I'm at the center. So please always make sure that you use guide very well. That helps you to align your stuff properly in your design. So if I have to move it to the center, I also need to move it like this. So you can see the horizontal line, also the horizontal purple line to tell me that I'm at the center of this square. Now, what I'm going to do is that if I select this tool now and I just click on this alignment, this other alignment here, it's going to align it horizontally like this. You can see now all of them are well aligned. So I can just double click while both of them are selected and I increase it like this. All right. So that's it. Somebody asks, please note that this is, like I said, this is a professional masterclass. It's not a mobile phone design or whatsoever. So this is not available on phone. It's on computers only. All right. So, but after this class, I'm going to show you an online version of Photoshop. So you can, for some of you that don't have a Photoshop in your just have a computer, a laptop, you can actually use the online version. It's not that bad actually. All right, so that's it here. So that's it with the grid. Please let me know if you can, if you understand what grid is all about and how to use your grid and how to use your guides. Please just indicate the chat box if you understand how to use it. Please, I just want to be sure that we are all following up, please. I just want to be sure that we're following up, please. Are we there? Okay, let me check. Yeah, it's very clear. Thank you, Osia. So please, it's not really understood by me. Okay, so please ask a question. You can just type your question. I'm going to read it. So understood. Okay. All right. So basically, in overall, guide simply helps you to align your design very well. So it helps you to align your either being text, either being photo, so align it very well. So that's what guides and grids are all about. Now, this is going to be, we're going to also, if we were to treat the entire, if we were to treat the entire design as a whole, or we'll look at grid deeply in what we start using InDesign, because there's no way you can design in InDesign, especially in my designing a magazine without using grids and without using guides, especially guides, please. There's no way. So there's a master class coming up to an on-site, fully on-site, although there will also be an online where we do deep design, like we go into all the software that I just mentioned. We're going to treat all of those software that I just mentioned. It's a whole full master class here. It's in Douala, but there's going to also be an online session. It runs for a month. So with that, we're going to touch all these things together. How to use grid in magazine design, how to use grid in brochures. For some of us that doesn't know what the brochure is, it's a trifold. This trifold brochure that people always give out, that has company information that people always give out. Especially the university, when they want to come to school to preach their university or whatsoever, they always work with those trifold. All right. Okay, so that's it. That's it with this. I'm just so now if this one is understood, okay, says everything says well understood. Clovis Cliff, let me know what's the issue. Let me know if there's any issue, please. You say it's not understood. Let me know if there's any issue that you're facing. Okay, so if there's no issue, if there's no problem, okay, we can proceed. So now let's go to the next one. Let's see how we can also pay funds. Now, paying of funds is very simple. You can always pay you can pay either a sans serif with a serif and a serif with a sans serif, vice versa. Both works very well. For example, now please let me know which one is this. Is it a serif or a sans serif? On what we did yesterday. Is this a serif or a sans serif, please? Please just comment. Just type it down. Okay, sans serif. Thank you. Sans serif, sans serif, sans serif. Yes, this is a sans serif fonts. A sans serif typeface. Okay. All right, so this is sans serif. So now, let me say if I want to pay this sans serif, I can easily pay this sans serif with another sans serif. For example, if I just duplicate this, please note that to duplicate like this, all you need to do is to press Alt on your keyboard or Option if you're using Mac and drag it down. It's going to duplicate automatically. So I'm going to scale it down here by reducing the size of the text here, up here. Okay, so here I can just change this to maybe another sans serif, for example. Let me change it to a popular Montserrat. Montserrat is a typeface that is very common. It's very popular. It's one of the most popular. In fact, it's the most popular because it's very modern. So with this now, I can always use it like this. So if I pair these two, let's say Photoshop, let's say Photoshop like this, and then I use this one now to say Photoshop tutorial like this. You notice that these two works very well. You get, if I use these two, all of them work together. So what I can instead do is that I can increase the size, I can increase the tracking. Now remember what we talk about when we started talking about the different terminologies that work with typography. We talk of kenning. Remember, we talk of kenning, we talk of tracking, we talk of leading. You get, so this is what tracking is all about. Tracking is increasing. Remember, we said tracking is the overall spacing between characters, the overall spacing. So all this spacing here is called tracking. So even if you just bring your mouse here, they're going to tell you that you need to adjust the tracking, or that you adjust the tracking. Just bring your mouse on top of it. They will say set the tracking. You can see set tracking. If you can see, you can read from my screen very well. It says set tracking characters of selected characters. So that's it. So with this, you can actually use tracking, and then your design will still look very professional like this. All right. Okay, so please, what did you say was the name of that second font? Okay, it's Montserrat. Why this first one is here is Anton. Anton. For some of us, I use it. All right. Dragging out plus drag direction. Yes, out plus drag direction. Also, when you are dragging in a particular direction, you need to also hold shift so that it moves in a straight line. All right. So when if you compare a sans serif with another sans serif, but then you need to play with the sizes. It works perfectly. And we can also do the reverse. For example, if I can just copy these two, and then I take this one up like this. You see, as I can just change it to, let's say, Photoshop instead. Photoshop, and then I'll change it to tutorial. Or let me just say Photoshop Masterclass. Like this. So if you notice, both works very well without any issue. Both of them work very well. So this, when you mix them like this, it works perfectly. Is that okay? So you can either pay a serif, you can either pay a sans serif with another sans serif. You know, it works. Now you can also pay a sans serif. You can also pay a sans serif with a script. For example, let me do this. Let me just duplicate this and bring it down like this. Let me just select both of them here, and then I press Alt on my keyboard and I drag it down like this. Now, if I have to change this to, please note that if you want to change this to caps here, you can always click on this to change everything to caps. If you don't see this character here in your Photoshop, just go to characters. Just come and click on this box here. It's going to appear, this box here. Make sure that your text is selected. You see the box whenever your text is selected like this. Now, if you see, if I don't want to use, because now the thing is with script font type by with scripting font, you don't really, if you use in caps, it's not really good. It's not always nice in caps. So if I click on this here, for example, this is where you see the all like the different typefaces. If I click here, so you are going to see all of them here. These are my fonts, my typeface, different typefaces that I downloaded. That are some of them, about 1,000 or something. It's not really that much. So because I just changed my computer, so it's not that much. But if you want my font pack, of course I can give you my font pack. Okay. Let me accept some people. Please always make sure that you join very early. I don't like teaching and accepting people that come in late. Very soon I'll stop that. All right. So let me change this Photoshop to a script font. Now remember what I told you yesterday, the different types of fonts or the different types of typeface, the different So you see here, here we have serif. If I click on, if I want just serif, if I click on this, I'm going to see just this. These are all serif fonts, all of them, because I selected just serif. I said I want just serif. Okay, if you want a slab serif, there's also another one. You can see them here like this. These are slab serif. If you want just a sans serif, these are sans serif. If I want script, these are script. Script are just like handwriting. So if I want monospace, there are different types also. You can see them here. If I want a handwritten also like script, and also black letter. Remember, we saw black letter yesterday. These are example of black letter, like this certificate, this certificate font here. There's also decorative font. You guys can see some of them. So these are the different types of fonts that you can actually have, and your Photoshop arranges it in such a way that it's very easy for you to navigate. I think this particular one here, all of this this particular one is because I'm using Emmanuel, is because I'm using Photoshop 2025. So with the Photoshop 2025, it comes with well arranged like this. You can actually filter it. So if you want to have something, if you want to have this same filtering well arranged, you can use Photoshop 2025. Okay, so like I said, you can use a script. You can pay a script font. Let me just go down to script. This is my script font here. Like this. Let me just use this one. Like this. Okay, let me take a very good example. Stanley Eno. There was Stanley Eno is a script. The Stanley is a script font. Let me increase it and let me use the exact font. So when I was creating Amigo cover art for some of you that are fan of music here in Cameroon, some of you would know, I mean, would have come across Amigo flyer, we'll see featuring Stanley Eno. So when I was creating that, I went online to look for Stanley Eno's name because he has a particular need, the way he has a way in which he writes his name. So I went there, I could not see it. So I had to design it myself. So let me just, so that particular name, Stanley Eno, is a combination of a scripting font and a sans serif font. Let me just show you quickly. So let me just scroll down to the font. I think I downloaded it here. Okay, so this is it here. Stanley, like this. If you can Google it online, you see it. If you can go this online, you see this is the font that Stanley Eno uses, and then you can use any other script fonts, any other sans serif fonts like this. So just have Eno like this. Now let me reduce the tracking. The tracking here is too much, so I'm going to reduce it to 0. Put down to default, which is 0. So Stanley Eno is like something like this. If you check everywhere, it's like that. This is the name. This is how it looks like. So if I have to go, let me see if I have to go online. And let me see if I have to go online. Let me just track. Let me see which one is open. So if I just drag this and drop here, let me just type Stanley Eno. Let me see Stanley Eno. So if I go to images, let me see, should I say name tag? Let me just say name tag. So you see it here, as you can see. So this is the exact face here. So all I need now is just to draw this in the middle, like this. Okay, so I just wanted to show you so you see how it looks. So you see how it looks like. Okay, so back here, so you have something like this. It's Stanley Eno here. So it's simply a combination. So it's simply a combination between a script font and a sans serif font. So that's it. Now another one is you can also pay a sans serif font and a serif font. For example, let me show you. a sans serif one and a serif font. Let me just take this one here. Let me just click on this Stanley Eno and change it to any sans serif, to any serif font. Let me go to serif. Go to serif. I can choose anyone here. You can see choose any serif here. There's so many of them. I have so many of them here. So I can just choose this one, for example. And if I pay these two, it still works, depending on what you want to create. Let me see if I have to change it. Let me see Kosi, for example, like this. Now I can change it. I can put some change down and put something like let me see Syria heat maker, something like this. So you see that once if I pay these two, it works perfectly. So there's no issue. We can always pay these two very well. But now let's end here with font pairing. So this alone should always work for you. So if you can use this very well, it's always, if you can pair this like this, just this alone, just follow it and you always be good when it comes to font pairing. And also lastly, you must not use different typefaces to pair them together. You can use the same font. Like I said, you can use the same font. For example, with this serial hitmaker, I can just change it to, let's say, black, and I play along with the size like this. I play along with the size like this. And then I just duplicate another one, this other one here. I change this one, I change this is the same typeface. I'm just playing along with the different fonts. The different font widths here. For example, if I have something like this, I have something like this. See, it works perfectly. And all I need to do is maybe just add some kind of tracking around it like this. So these are, if you pay like this, it still works perfectly. So you don't need to know how to play around with it. So these are all professional way of pairing. Okay, so far, please let me know if you have a question before I proceed to something else. Any question? Any question, please? Okay. Any question, please? Let me know if you have any question. Just drop them in the chat. Let me look at it before we proceed. Okay. If there's no question, we proceed. Please, there should be a question, please. People should be asking questions. When it's quiet like that, I feel like people are not following up. Okay, no question, Mr. Eli. Any other person, please? And any at least three to say that to either ask or tell me there's no question. Please let me know if there's any question. Like as this is an interactive class, it's not just for me alone. I should not be the only one talking. Okay, so you understood. All right, thank you. Please, all this can only be done with a computer. Yes, all this can only be done with a computer. Please, you need to get a computer. If you want to be a professional graphic designer, please get a computer. Don't be using your phone. You can use a phone for the start, but then get a computer. All right. So that's it with font pairing. That's it with the font pairing. Now let's look at the different alignment. Let me just select. Let me just copy these two, and then let me select all of this and put them in my folder. I'm going to select all of them. I can press the first one here, and then I press Shift and press the last one like this. And I'm going to drag and drop on top of this small folder down here. It's going to create a group. I just call it font pairing like this. And I'm just going to hide it. So I copied some, I selected some two and then press Control C to copy it. So I'm just going to press Control V to paste it back like this. So now let's look at the different alignment here. Let's look at the different alignment here. Now the very first alignment that we're going to look at is left align. Once two different objects are selected on your layer panel here, you are going to see it here. See these tools are going to pop up automatically to tell you that I need to align. So if I click on align to the left, it's going to align it like this. If I choose on align to the center like this, align this to the center. So if I choose on align to the right, see it have this kind of alignment like this. All right. Is that okay? Please let me know if that's okay. So these are different way of aligning: left, right, center. You also have top. Now this one, let's look at this other one this way. And also let me add one more. Photoshop Masterclass tutorial. Let me just add like tutorial. Let me just change it to a tutorial. It's a tutorial. Let me change this back to Montserrat. Okay. Now we have this. Okay, let's have these three. Look at these three, right? Let's have these three, but I want these three to have the same leading. Remember what we said about leading? Leading is simply the space between different lines of text. This space between different lines of text is called leading. So this is a leading here, or line spacing, remember. This leading, and then also here, this is leading. But this one is too big, and this one is too small. So I want both equal. You get? So I'm just going to select both like this. And then I press this button here. I click on this button here. And then you have this all arranged like this center. So they have equal spacing. All right. Now, let's say I want to also arrange this. Let me just draw a shape. Let me just copy my shape to and draw something like this. And then give it a different color like this. And let me just duplicate out, and then I drag to duplicate this. And I have a different, let me give a different color like this. Oh, black. Okay. So I have these two shapes here like this. Now, if I select these two, if I click on these two, like I said, whenever I select any two objects, either being a shape or images, they're going to have something like this. So all I need to do is just to click here, it rearranges them. If I click at the center, you don't see anything again. If I select both, and then I click like this, it's going to align them like this. If I click here, it aligns them to the center, so you'll not be able to see the other one. So let me just click like this. So that's how this alignments here works. Now, with the color combination, let me explain how color works here. Now, if I click on this, for example, on this, if I select this masterclass, I go to color here. Now, if you don't see these properties, like I said, go to Windows and scroll down to properties, you see it there. Now, you click here, you're going to see you can change the color to whatever you want. Now, if you notice here, this letter H here, which is thick. Now, I forgot to, I did not mention this yesterday. This H here stands for hue. Hue, let me spell it. Hue, as in hue. Hue like this. So this is hue. This color, this H here stands for hue. And hue is a single color. It's a single color, like it's a single independent color that doesn't have to do with any, like that occur naturally. You get? So it's a single color. Now, the S stands for the saturation. So this means that this particular hue is red. This particular one is a red color, and the saturation of that red color is 100%. Now, let's say I want to reduce the saturation of this to, let's say, 50% saturation, how brighter it is. So you see, it reduces the saturation now to 50%. You see how it looks like. So if I put it back here, the saturation becomes 100%. That's why it's vibrant like this. Now, the B here stands for brightness. If I also take the brightness to 50%, you see how it looks like. As you can see here, the brightness, when you take the brightness and you move toward the dark, and when you take the saturation up, down, it moves toward the white. So that's how it works. So now this one here stands for RGB. This stands for red, this stands for green, and this stands for blue. So with this particular color, there is 255 red, because that's the highest value of color, 255. And there's zero green and there's zero blue. You get? So now, so that's the meaning of this. Just make sure that you understand. So that's the meaning of this. So again, when you want to change your color, all you need to do is just to click on the properties. If you don't see the property, you can make sure that you select your text here, and then you're also going to see this one going to pop up, so that you can also change the color. So you can either change it up here or down here, the same thing. So I'm going to select this. So when I'm done, I'm going to click OK. So that's it. Now, the best way to actually learn color combination is for you to look for samples online. For you to look for samples online. For example, if I have to take this, if I need some ideas, I'll just take this, something like this. I'll just look for an idea here, for some samples here, and copy. I'll just like the color. I'll just copy the color, depending on what I'm designing. If I like this, for example, if I like this flyer, for example, I like the color. So this particular two colors work very well. So I'm just, depending on who I'm targeting, I like this color, so I'm just going to copy this flyer, copy this flyer like this, and then bring it into my Photoshop here, and I'll just paste it. Then I'll just sample the colors. So how do I sample the color? I'm just going to draw my shape. I'm just going to draw my just choose my shape here. I just draw the first rectangle, and then I'm going to click on this color here. Now, once I click on this color here, I'm also going to click on this color here, this one here, color picker. Click on it. Now, once I click on it, this one is going to pop up. This color here is going to pop up, and then they'll give me an eyedropper tool. This eyedropper tool permit me to be able to sample this color here. If when I click anywhere, wherever I click, the color changes here. See, if I click here, see the color changes. So I'm going to sample my yellow color here, like this. I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to duplicate this one. I'm going to click OK, and then I'll duplicate this again. Let me just copy and duplicate this, and then I'm going to click here again, click on color picker again, and I'll sample the next one here, which is this blue. Once I'm done, I'm going to click OK. So at the end, I will delete this. So if you look at, so I'm already okay now with my, these are my colors. So you know, painting this color work very well. They have high contrast. If I use it on my fly, it's going to work perfectly. So that's the best way you can actually learn coloring, by simply looking for samples online and copy the color from there. You know, as a beginner, but there'll be a time where everything is just you don't need to even think. Once you choose this one, you just know that okay, I'm adding white on top of this, it's going to work. If I add the yellow on top of this green, this blue here, it's going to work and stuff like that. All right. So now, let's look at how to add text. Please let me know if I've answered your question, please. Let me know if I've answered your question. I've been trying. Okay, what of the color pairing of text? Okay, how do I duplicate? To duplicate, there are different ways to duplicate. You can just select whatever you need to select and then press Control J or Command J, Control J like this, and then you just drag it to another place. So select a particular one and press Control J, it's going to duplicate. Is that okay? Or you can just press Alt or Option on your keyboard and drag like this. It also duplicate. There are different ways to do that. Please let me know if that's understood. All right, thank you. So any question, please? Any question before we proceed? Any question before we proceed? Yes, please ask a question if you have any. Please type your question if you have any, please. 1 minute, type your question. Please ask your question, ask your question, ask your question. The question's meaning from. Okay, so a question meaning from the shape, I can still use the eyedropper tool to apply it on another shape. Yes, you can use an eyedropper tool to apply on another shape. For example, let's say I draw another shape like this here. Let me just give it a different color. Let me say I have another eyedropper tool. This is my another shape here, but I want this shape to have the same color like this shape, like this blue here. All I'm going to do is just click on it, click here, and I'm going to select this one. Once I click on it, it's going to show up here, and I click OK. It changes like this. So that's what you can do. All right. So how did you create this shape? Okay, now I'm going to take you through. Please don't worry. So first thing first, to create a shape, right? To create a shape is very simple. Let me delete all of this. To create a shape, you start by just there's a shape down here. It's rectangle tool down here. The shortcut is U. You just press U on your keyboard and it's going to select it. Now, if you right click on top of this rectangle, you're going to have different shapes like this. Could either be a circle, and for you to be able to draw a complete circle, you need to press Shift while drawing so that you draw a complete circle for you. So you can draw a complete circle like this. If I right click, there's also rectangle. Like there's also rectangle like this. I can draw my rectangle. Now to draw a complete square, you need to press Shift as well to draw a complete square. If I right click again, there's a triangle. I can draw my triangle like this. Yes, also if I right click again, there's another one inside. Polygon. I can draw my polygon like this. So all of these are inside here. And there's also custom shapes plus line. I can also draw a line like this. So this is it. Okay. So that's it with a shape. For you to be able to draw a shape. So you only need to just go to shape down here, or you press U, letter U on your keyboard. Please, somebody just type U for shapes to select shapes. Somebody just type it in the chat box. Letter U is for shape. Now, what if I want to move this shape around? All I need to do is to select the very first tool here is called a move tool. Then you move things around, whether be the picture or whatsoever, So you can just move it around. So the first one here is the move tool, and then that's the most common tool that we're using. That's the most used tool here. Text move tool. Now the next one here, the most important thing, another important tool here to take a look at is text tool. So text tool, all you need to do is to press T on your keyboard. Just press T for text. It's going to activate your text tool. So you can just type my text like this. Hey, text. So this is my text here. This is my text here. That T is for text. So you don't need to press T. You don't need to press Control T or no. Just press T on your keyboard. You have your text. So once you type your text now, you can actually change the color on the properties here. You can click on it to change the color to something else. So that's it. Is there any question before we proceed? Okay. So T is for text. Please, somebody saying something. Okay, please, if you're not talking, you can just put me your mic, please. Thank you. Okay, so that's it for text. So to add text, this is what all you need to do is just to click on this T here to add your text, and that's all. Now, how do we load now images into this Canva? So all you need to do is to go to our wherever our image is. You can even go to open. You can even go to file, and you scroll down to import. You can import images from device. But the main thing here is what you can do here is to place embedded. You can click on place embedded, and then once you click on it, it's going to show you where your pictures are. So let me go to my downloads. That's where my pictures are. I'm just going to download. So I choose the picture that I want to choose, and then you just click place. So you're going to place it here. So you can scale it by pressing Control T, Control Shift T to scale it from the center like this, or you can just press a Shift to scale it diagonally like this. So that's it. Or this easiest way to save time, what I usually do is that I'm just going to go to my file, my folders where my pictures are. I'm just going to go there, download. I'll scroll down to where my pictures are, and I'm just going to once I see it, I'll just drag and drop. I'm just going to drag it on top of this Photoshop, and then bring it inside. Please, when you bring it inside, allow it to load it to be inside first before you release. So they have something like this. It's very simple. The same thing with if you're using Mac or you're using Windows, the same thing. So this is how you load pictures in your design. Now, what if I want to create let's say I want to create a restaurant flyer. Okay, to create a restaurant flyer, so this is what we're going to do. Let's sketch what we're going to design. So let's just sketch what you're going to design as a restaurant flyer. So I'm going to have something like this. And then let me just use a brush tool. Here's a brush tool here. To press brush tool is B. So you need to press on B to activate the brush tool, and you're good to go. So with the brush tool, I'm going to add an empty layer here. Let me delete this. I'm going to add an empty layer here. This is an empty layer. This square here plus here. This small square with plus inside. It's an empty layer. So let's look at what we're going to create. And we're going to have a main picture like this. A main picture like this. And then which show maybe a plate of a rice, and then we'll have some sub pictures around it like this. Is that okay? And then you have the client's logo here. So here you have logo, and then maybe that's it. You can have a logo there, and I don't know whatsoever can be here. If I have something, we can add it here. And then now we're going to add the other text here. So we're going to add some other text here. Maybe some other food that they sell as their menu. All right. Okay, Mr. Eli, there's a question. If you have a question, please ask before proceed.
Yeah, good evening. I'm sorry to bring you back behind. I have a problem with I don't know if it's possible as we are working, should practice it or should practice later.
Okay, it's good that you practice it later, because if we need everybody to be on the same space, it's going to take so much time, and it's going to be taking other people back, stuff like that. But again, after this, you can if you don't understand, if you don't feel like you're lost, it's this class is recorded. Yeah, I'm going to post it on my YouTube channel. You're going to, you can watch it there. If you have any issue, you can ask me. If
thank you very much.
Always, yeah, I'll reply instantly. All right. Any other question, please? Sky, you said you don't know where the grid is. Okay, so just go to view. Just go to, make sure that you go to view up here. Go to view and scroll down to show. On your show, go down to grid. You can see the shortcut beside Control apostrophe or Command apostrophe if you're on a Mac. So I'm going to click on it. So that's for grid, please. Save. So for guide, the same thing. Go down to show Windows or go to view, show, and then go down to make sure that activate smart guides. With the smart guides now, all you need to do is to double click or is to press Control R on your keyboard. Or if you don't have the one to press Control R, you can still go to as it goes to rollers, go to views and then go down to rollers. Make sure that your roller is activated. Make sure that your roller is activated. Make sure that your roller is activated, please. So make sure that your roller is always activated. And then also this snap here, make sure that it's also activated because it helps you to, whenever you are dragging, like when we're dragging the guide to the center, it helps us to detect where the center was. So that's what this snap is all about. So always make sure that I also tick like this. So let's activate our roller. This is a shortcut here, Control R. So when I activate the roller now, all you need to do is to just drag on top of the roller, click on top of the roller and drag toward the center. You're going to see your guide and so on. So that's it. So let me deactivate this grid. Okay. So this is our guide. This is our guide here activated. This is the one that's running from top to bottom. The one is the one running from left to right. So the all at the center. Okay. So this is what we're designing. Is that okay? Please let me know if we're all okay at this point. This is our sketch. This is our sketch. Please let me know if we're all okay up to this point. Please also, it's good that whenever you are designing, you should be able to sketch how your output should look like. Please, it's very important. Take your time. When a client reaches out to you, don't just rush and start designing. Take your time and do your sketch, do your research. Look at what others have done. You get. Thank you, Creative Nexus. So look at what other people have done and then try to sketch from there. Try to like pick. Don't just go and copy somebody's stuff. Try to pick from left and right. You get. Don't just copy from people. Try to speak from left and right. You can just copy the layout, can just copy maybe the way their main picture is structured, and then you go somewhere and copy the way the font is being placed. Then you go somewhere and copy the way the logo is being placed, the way, and then somewhere you copy the color, somewhere like you don't just you pick here, you pick here. Now that's what we call stealing like an artist. You're stealing, yes. But you're stealing now like an artist, not just like any other normal person that will just go and copy somebody's work. If you copy somebody's work, that's plagiarism. So be very careful before you get yourself into trouble. Okay. So let me know are we okay up to this point, please? Just say yes. Just type yes. I need 10 yes before we continue. Please just type yes if you're okay up to this point. If you're all cool up to this point, please. Because we want to start designing. We want to design a real flyer. We want to design a real social media flyer. Please. I need 10 at least. Okay, it's remaining 5. Please, let's just type if you're okay up to this point. And please, if you're not okay, please ask your question. If you're not okay up to this point, ask a specific question. Okay, all right. So meaning we can proceed, right? It means that we can proceed. All right. Now remember, I'm going to steal this color. Remember, you guys remember this is our color that we sampled the other time. This color that I took from this thing the other time. Oh no, now I feel like this flyer is not going. This is not actually good. It's not nice for a restaurant flyer. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to go to Pinterest. Let's go to Pinterest. Let's go to Pinterest. And then load it back, take you back to Pinterest here. Oh no. Please 1 minute. Let me take you back to Pinterest. Okay, I have my Pinterest here. Let's go there. So I'm just going to type a restaurant flyer. A restaurant flyer. You get a restaurant flyer. Okay, see, when you click on the restaurant flyer, you see so many different samples. Please make Pinterest your friend. Your Pinterest should be a very good friend. Please, it should be your good friend. That's a lot of nice things here. So you see the way this one is. I like the way this one is. You know, I also like this one. Okay, so I want this one out to be our background. This red to be our background. I love it so much. So I want this red to be our background. We're also going to copy this green here, but not this layout. I don't like the layout. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to drop it inside here. So this is called Moodboard. I'm going to create a folder here called Moodboard. I'm going to create a folder here called Moodboard. I'm just going to come here down here to this folder. It's a new folder. We're going to create a new group. I'm going to call it Moodboard. Moodboard. That's how they call it. Now all my samples are going to be inside like this. So all I need to do is just to, like the way it was outside. See if I close this, you're not going to see it. Nothing changes. But if I drag this layer, this sample here and put it inside, you see, it's now inside this. I'm going to change it. If I close the eye, you're going to see it disappears. Now I can also change the color of this. All I need to do is just to click on top of the eye here and I choose this color, so that I know that whatever's inside here whatever has this color here is this mood board. So I'm just going to go to Pinterest again and look for another sample. Now, I think I like this one. I like this color. But if my color is not good, I don't like that color so much, or maybe it's not visible enough, I can also come here and copy this other color too. The same color actually, same design, but I just want to have at least something like this. And then I'm going to go back again. I'm going to check for other sample colors. Please take your time. Don't just be in a haste. Which other color can I use? Which other color can I use? Okay. I think so far we can go with that color. Yeah. And I like this background. Thank God they just proposed this background to me. I like it. I'll just copy it too. Copy it. I'll come here and also add it here. I choose most of the time what I usually do is I don't actually have I don't actually have all these things in my computer. I just copy and paste so that I don't have enough, so I don't have issue with space, stuff like that. So these are all background. So I'm going to copy this and paste it in the group. So this is a background, restaurant background for some of us that like to design for restaurants like that. I'm pasting this in the group, please. So it's like a resource. So when you click on it, you're going to have different all these backgrounds like this. So I like this one, like it. So I think that's it. If I want this one, I can just download it as well, copy. If you want to download in your computer, you can take save image and it takes save as. It's another process. Another process. You can just take save, choose where you want to save it, download, and then take save. It's saving in your computer like this. But then I don't really save. I just download. I take copy, and then just come here and I paste it like this. All right, that's it. So let's start with the color. Let's start with this first one with this color that we like so much. This one. Let me start with this one. I like it. I like this one so much. So let's create this color. Let's create this color. Let me close this. Okay, so let's create this color. I'm going to hide this. This is my sketch. Remember this sketch? I'm going to hide the layer sketch, and then now, first thing first, I'm going to click on this background. Let me just collapse this so that it's not disturbing. So I'm going to click on this background because the first layer down, and then which option is better, download or copy? Now, download is good because you can reuse it after. I always copy because I have constant internet connection and I'm always online 24/7. So whenever I'm designing, if you see me working on any flyer, I'm always online. So that's it. So that's why if you can say just download it in your computer and then send it to another person, that'll be fine. That'll be nice. Okay. Again, like I said, for us to be able to create this background, first thing first, you click on select this background here. Let me close this. Select this background here, and then you click on this small icon here. They call it adjustment layer. They're asking me to create a new adjustment layer. So I'm going to click on this new adjustment layer, and I'm going to go to gradient. Because if you notice, this is not a single color, it's a gradient, like it's kind of shining in the middle, and then at the edges it's not shining. So I'm going to click on gradient here. Now, if you look at my gradient, it's not the color that I want, and it's kind of not really standing out well. So I'm going to click on this drop down here, then I'm just going to click on basics. and then I'm going to take the first one here, and then I'll take now once I do that, I'll click outside and then click back on it. Now I'm going to double click on this first color stop here. Double click on this one here. Once I double click on this, I'm going to have this color is going to pop up. Please note that I double click on this. They call this a color stop. And like a gradient is simply a mixture of two or more colors. Combining two or more colors together makes your background or whatsoever a gradient. Again, now a solid color is simply a single color. It could be a photo, it could be a red, it could be a yellow, it could be black, it could be white, it could be any other color. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is that I will double click on this first color stop here. I'll double click on it, and I'm going to sample this color at the edges here. This first color here, this one, this darker color here. I'm going to sample it, and I'm going to click OK once I'm done. I'm going to double click on this other one here, and then I'm going to also click the brightest part here, which is somewhere around here like this. I'm just going to sample it. I'm going to click OK. Now, if you look at it, it's kind of a gradient now. Now, if you notice, it's not the same. The gradient is popping from the center, but mine is moving from left to right. So this one here is like more of a linear gradient. But first, let me just pull this a little bit toward the right, like this. Toward the left, like this. Now, what I'm going to do is that when I'm done, I'll just click OK. Once I'm done with satisfied, I'm going to click OK. Now, I'm going to change the layer style here now to radial. Radial style means that it should start from the center, either moving toward the center or coming or starting from the center, popping out. So if I click on this, this is what I'm going to have. So our design is already coming out. So now, what instead is giving me the reverse. If you notice, the sides are instead brighter, while the center is set darker, but I want the reverse instead. I don't want it this way. So I'm going to click on reverse here. So now when I click on my reverse, now you see it here. So now with my reverse, now you can see it is coming out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to increase the scale a bit like this. I'm going to take the scale up a bit like this. I think like this is fine for me. It's okay by me. So I'm going to, once I'm done, I'll click OK. Now, what you can do is that you can save this gradient. You can save this gradient by just like click on the gradient and click new here. You're going to add the gradient on your gradient preset here. Now, the thing with this one, if you off your computer and on it back, this gradient is going to disappear. But if you want to save it in such a way that you can come back and reuse it, all you need to do is to right click after getting new, you right click on it. Or you can even just click export here and then go to your folder where your gradients are. You just type it tutorial. You save it there. Just call it, you can call it tutorial or whatsoever. Tutorial gradient. And click OK. Once you're doing it, just click save. It's going to save it. Now, if I turn off my computer, this gradient is here forever until the day I choose to delete it or until the day I format this computer or install this Photoshop. You know that most of the time when you install a software, it takes all its folder away from your computer. It deletes everything. So unless I uninstall this, then that's the only way I can lose this gradient. If not, it's going to always be here. All right. So once I'm done, I'm going to click OK. And also I'm going to click OK. You can also play with the angles. I put that here, since it's radial, the angle does not really matter that much. So I'm going to click OK here. Every other thing here remains the same. I'm going to click OK. Now you can see now they are popping out from the center. So now remember our sketch. Let me just hide this for the meantime. Let me just hide this sample for the meantime. I need to hide my modeboard too for the meantime. Now, you remember our sketch. This is what we have, a sketch. Remember, remember, let me change the color. Just add the overlay to the color so you see it. So remember, this is our sketch, right? Yeah, it's our sketch. So let's look at this, our sketch now. Okay, Tamasan, you said something. The background has more than one color. Yes, that's what we're talking about. It has two colors. So that's why we have this. That's why there are two colors. Can you see my screen such a way that can you spot the different colors, please? Let me know if you can spot the different colors. Just comment yes if you can spot the different colors, like the different shade of red. Please, can you? Okay, yes. All right, cool. So now the next thing is for us to now remember this is our shape. This is our sketch. This is what we're going to design. So I'm going to come here now with my design stick here, with my sketch stick here. I'm going to go to shape. Remember the shape here is U. Just press U on your keyboard if you've forgotten. it's going to activate this shape. So you just right click on it and take ellipse tool. Ellipse tool. Once I take my ellipse tool now, I'm going to click and start drawing my shape. Now, if you notice, see, look at what's happening. If it's not giving me a complete circle, so if for you to be able to draw a complete circle, you need to press Shift and hold. So you can draw a complete circle like this. Now, with the complete circle, now once you draw a complete circle, you can give it a color. Let me just give it a white color like this. Let me just give it a white color. So now I'm going to draw another color. I'm going to draw another shape. You can draw another shape or you duplicate this shape. Let me just draw another shape first. Same thing. Draw another shape here. Let me just change this color to maybe yellow like this. So now I'm going to scale it the way I want to the size that I want. I think this size is fine. Now I'm just going to duplicate it. I'm going to press Alt and hold or Option, or if you're using Mac, and then bring it here like this, and then another one like this. So this is what we have here. So I'm going to select this one. I'm going to select this one too. Then I'll adjust it like this. I'll select and adjust it to make sure that everything fits the way I want it to fit. And then something like this. Make sure everything is balanced. Please remember what about balance. So here I'm making sure that everything here is balanced. So select these three, make sure that they're all balanced. So I'm going to adjust it manually. And also I'm going to select these three down here to make sure that they're equal at the center. If I bring it to the center, I press Ctrl T C to the center, they're final. But if you notice, this distance here is not the same. So I can just select these two and then make sure that the distance are all equal. Press on this, click on this here to make sure they adjust the distance around it. Okay. So this is it. So you see how my guide is helping me to adjust this my guides. I'll make sure that okay, they're all at the center, like so well aligned. If you click on this, you see it's aligned at the center because of this guide. It helps me it tells me that I'm at the center. So it means that this one also, if I click on it, see, it's not at the center. It's not at the center. So I can click on it and arrange it like this to make sure it's at the center. So now, what I'm going to do is that I'll go. Okay, let me just cancel this now. Let me just hide my sketch like this. So this is what I have. So I feel like this is going to be covering a part of the fruit. So I'm going to select the tree and just drag it down a bit like this. Or I'm just going to scale it out too. Scale it out like this. And scale it out. So now I'm going to I'll go online and look for pictures. Food. Okay, let me just go on Facebook, on Google and I'm just going to go, let me just say katikati, let me say rice and beans, or let me say fried rice. Let me look for fried rice, go to images. Hello. So far, we're all good here. Let's talk about the network issue. That's it for us. It's not going to be easy. Okay, so here we go. So we're just going to proceed. Like I said, what I did is that I just went online and look for my rice. I just search for my fried rice and I went to images and they gave me all these different fried rice here. So I just click on any one and choose. The network is not really fast, so I'm just going to work with that. So now let me just search for, let me just say pepper soup. I don't know if I had a spell pepper soup also. Good pepper soup, good meat. Let me see. Okay, so if you didn't follow up this clipping mask, how we did the clipping mask, let's take a look at it all together again. So with the clipping mask, all we did was that let me just begin. So with the clipping mask, let me delete this. So first thing with the clipping mask is that you select the shape that you need to clip inside. Select the shape and then bring your picture there. This is my picture here. Make sure that your picture is on top of the shape. This is my shape here. This is my picture. So I'm going to scale the picture up like this by pressing Ctrl T, and then I scale it up, Ctrl T, and then scale it up by pressing Shift and Option. So right here, I'm going to right click and create, right click on the picture, please. Right click on the picture and you take create clipping mask. Is down here. Right click on the picture and you take create clipping mask, and once you click on it like this, it clips everything inside. Okay, so I think I was at the point where I was trying to explain on how you can actually add stroke. So for you to be able to add strokes, what you need to do is that you need to select the shape, and then you go to your shape here. Make that this shape here is selected, your shape here is selected. Then you go up here, you see stroke. You click on stroke. You can just add a solid color. It could be select the solid color here and add it. Then you can increase the size of your stroke here. Let me say I want it to be 25. I don't need to put 25 there, and I press enter. I'm just going to type 25 there, 20, or let me just say 20, and I press enter. So you can see it here. So this now has a stroke. You get. So now we're going to fill these other shapes down here. We're going to fill this other shape down here. So I'm going to look for pepper soup gold. My pepper soup gold meat, if it's already there, that I'm searching for. The pepper soup gold meat I was searching for. Let me see if it's there. Let me see. Pepper soup. Okay, this is my pepper soup gold meat here. I'm going to just choose the one that I want, the one that resonated with me. I'm going to click on this one. I like this one so far. Now, okay, so the connection is a bit faster. So please, when you click on a picture, please allow it to load first, so that if it doesn't load all, you're not going to have the highest quality of the picture. For example, this picture has a very high quality. It's a high quality picture, so I need to allow it to load all so that I can get the best quality of this picture. So when you click on select on any picture, hold on for a while so that it can load very well. If not, you're not going to have the quality picture. All right. So while it's still loading, let me just click and take copy. Like I said, you can download save as. Click on the save as. I'm just going to click on copy image. Now copy it, or go to my Photoshop. Now I want to paste it here. I'll click here. I'm just selected that. I'm just going to paste it here. I'm going to paste my good meat here, like this. Then same thing. I'm going to right click on top of it here. Right click on top of it here. Also, where there's no writing, please right click and create clipping mask. So it clips now inside. So what I'm going to do is that I want to add this stroke to all of this. So I'm just going to select this shape. I'll select this other shape, and I'll select this other shape. I'll select all the three shapes. Remember, it's this one, and this one. When I select all the three, I also go to my shape here, and I come here and add the stroke. I'll add 20. Stroke to be size to be 20. So, and then I'm going to give the stroke color to be red, to be white, like this. So you can see all of them have strokes now. So I'm going to select the next one I'm going to clip on is this one. So I'm going to go back and look for another this thing. Okay, see, like if you can see now, you notice that the picture quality now is really clean. So it means that you can now download the high quality picture now of this. So let me just go down the high quality picture again. I love it. It's so clean. So I'm going to go back to my Photoshop. I'm going to go back to my Photoshop again. And then I'm going to just now you can delete this one. I'm just going to delete this one that I inputted here, and then I'm going to paste this one. So you need to see when I paste it, it has a high quality. Now, when you have this right, you don't just need to start scaling it down like this. No, you don't need to start scaling it down like this. You need to make sure that it's actually a smart object. You need to make sure that it's a smart object. Now, for you to have a smart object, all you need to do is to right click on your picture and create smart object. Now, because the reason being that, for example, if you look at this like this, let me say I scale down this. If I scale it down like this, and then at some point I feel like no, it's too small. Let me scale it up, and then I scale it up again like this. See something? The quality has been reduced. I don't know if you can see it. It's now looking blurry. Please let me know if you can see it. All right. So I believe they are moving now. Okay. So I think it was my network. Sorry about that. Okay. So let me just go back here. Now we were here. I said when you load an image like this, for example, or let's say you copy paste and then it's showing full screen. Please, you don't just go right ahead and you scale it down like this. That's what I was explaining. Don't just go ahead and scale it down like this. Reason being that without us to scaling it down without converting it to a smart object, because if at some point I feel like, oh, I made a mistake, let me scale it up. Let me scale it up. Now look at what happened if I scale it up again to full size. See. So you notice that my high quality picture now becomes blurry. Have you noticed that? A high quality picture becomes blurry. Is that okay? So you need to, no, that's because we scale it down without, first of all, converting it to a smart object, indestructible object. You get that's the power of smart object. So when I load this, first thing first, I need to convert it to a smart object. Now right click and take convert to a smart object. And then now I'll scale it down. See if I scale it right down like this. And then after again, I decide to scale it up again. See, like this. The quality remains the same. So that's the power of smart object. Please always make sure that you are working, whenever you're working on something, it should be on smart object. Please. Okay, so I'm going to scale it down like this now, and then I'm going to clip inside here. Now to clip inside this, make sure that this is what I want to clip inside this these small circles here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make sure that this picture is directly on top of this shape. I'll right click on top of the picture and I'll take create smart object. Create clipping mask, sorry. I can take create clipping mask. That's it. And then I'm just going to adjust it around it like this. So if since the picture is too clean, let me just use it also as the main picture here. We could also change, you can change it later on. This one is too blurry. It's making our flyer not to look good. So let me just clip this inside. So I'll paste it again. Now I'll convert to a smart object. Right click, take convert to a smart object. And I'll scale it down again like this. And I'll just bring it on top of it. And I'll right click again and take create smart object and make create clipping mask, sorry. Create clipping mask like this. So you see this way we are. So I'll go now and search for another foot. What should we search? So just what else should we look for? Let me say, let's say arrow. Yes, thank you, arrow. Let's say arrow. Let's look for clean picture of arrow. Okay, this clean picture of arrow. So once you click on it, like I said, make sure you allow it to load first. And also always make sure that you look for pictures that have a high quality, of high quality. So always make sure, you know, because the more the picture looks good, you know, the more they are going to buy, because they believe in, once the picture has quality, they believe that the food will taste nice, even if the taste is rubbish. Again, I said, as designer, another we used to take design for restaurants, and then most of the time when we taste the food, we'll just be like, maybe I should not work on this thing because it doesn't taste like the flyer. So anyway, so I like this one. So let me load this one. I'm just going to copy it again. Copy it. Let me go back to my Photoshop. Please know that you can download. You can go back to my Photoshop. I'm going to go there and paste it. So I'll click on this one here, and then just put a drop on top of it like this. I'll right click and create clipping mask, and I'll scale it to make sure that it fits inside. To make sure that it fits inside. So that's it. Now the last one is this one. I'm going to come here too and come back here. Okay, let me use Achu. It's around Achu. It's around, I'm going to use Achu. Which one here looks nice? I think I like this one. So I'm going to download this one. This one looks clean. Also, this one too looks clean. Yeah, I like this one too. So whichever one looks good. Okay, whichever one looks good. So I'm going to come back here and then click. I'll add it. Then do the same thing. I'll first of all convert to a smart object, and then after they say could not complete the convert smart object because the scratch disk is full. My scratch disk is full. Oh. Now, please know that you always be facing these issues when you're designing. They always tell you their scratch disk is full. Now, what happens when your scratch disk is full? It means that there's not enough space in your RAM and in your hard disk. There's not enough space in both your RAM and your hard disk. So what do you do? What I usually do is that if you are using MacBook, all you need to do, make sure that you delete things in your computer. So I'm going to go to my trash and clear it. So my trash is empty, so it means that there's nothing inside. So again, another thing I'm going to do is that I'll just go to, if you're using Mac, just go to make sure that you're on the main screen, like your window like this. Just go to Go. I'll go to Go, and then I'll go right down to which one again? Which one? Let me see. I'll go to folder. When I click on go to folder, it's going to take me to this. I'm going to look for cache memory. I'm going to look for cache memory. Caches. Okay, I'm going to look for caches. So when you click on caches, it's going to activate. You're going to load all these things. Please, now this is a lot of this what is occupying stuff like that in your computer. If you understand how this cache memory works in computer science, you understand why I have all this in here. Whenever you're working on something, it's all of them are being loaded in your cache memory before being executed. That's how the processing the CPU. That's how the processor works. It copies things and puts it in a storage that is closer to it, so they can always use it each time. So I'm going to select all of this here and delete. If you're on your Mac, if you're using move to trash. So if you're using Windows, all you need to do is to go to press Control. So you should press Windows R. Please write it. Someone should write it Windows R, and then you type percent %. So you press Windows R plus %temp %. It's going to open this same folder, and then once you open the folder, now you delete it. Once you open the same folder, you delete everything whatsoever is in that folder. So that's how this thing works. So after that, now I think I'll be able to have enough space. So know that you're always facing these difficulties. So if it doesn't still work, it means I need to delete some things in your computer. So now mine works now. I just converted it to a smart object and it works. So I'm just going to right click again and create clipping mask. And then it's going to clip it inside this particular one, this particular small shape that was here. So I'm just going to scale it down to make sure that it fits very well. Voila. Windows R %, no, %10%. Please remove that place, remove that plus. Windows R, yes, Allen, Yanda, yes, that's the right words. That's the right words. Win R %10%. That's it. Please, Daniel, please, you can delete yours because the other one that's up there is fine. All right, so that's it. Let's look for another thing. What should be the main foot here, please? What should be the main foot here? Please, Daniel, can you delete this one? Can you delete yours so that people don't get confused? Daniel Nyaga, yeah. Or if you cannot delete it, then it's fine. But know that the one that is okay is the first one. The first one, Windows R plus %10% is the right word, the right typing. Okay, please, what should be our main foot here? Okay, that's fine. Don't worry. What should be our main foot here? Let's choose it. What should be our main foot? What? Kati. I don't think they're going to have a good picture of Kati. Kati. Let's see. Kati. This is it. So we can't see a good picture of Kati. Now let me just check fried rice. Fried rice is very easy. Fried rice, very easy to see it. My now is fast now, so we can have a good quality of picture. So this is my fried rice. So you can scroll down and look for a better picture image of fried rice. Fried rice and chicken. Let me add chicken. And chicken. Make the add fried rice and chicken, and you go to images. Oh, let's look at this one. It's nice. But this one, so nice. But let me just use this one. Let me just use this one. Oh no, it's kind of cut out. So I'm going to use this one instead. You can always scroll down and check for the one that looks better. So I'm going to use this one. So don't spend so much time looking for pictures. Now, once I'm here, I'm going to click on this main picture here and delete it. Let me delete this one too. Please, like I said, remember you select the picture first. Once you select the picture, you bring your design, bring your image, and once you bring the image, just right click and create clipping mask. You can always convert to a smart object so that it doesn't have any issue. Okay, so these are our pictures. So we have this like this. Now, what else? Remember this is what we have as our logo, as our main flyer. So now what do we need to do now? Just type and then start adding. Maybe contact information. Contact us, and then you type your. Now I'm going to use this as contact instead. So I'm going to type plus 237. Now, can you put 237 if you deliver out of your country? So 673533427. So if they want to contact you, they can contact you with your country code. So what I'm going to do is that I'll just press out and shift, and then shift, take this up here, and that's how you duplicate. Now I'm going to change it to Montserrat. Popular typeface is Montserrat. I'm going to use bold or semi-bold. I'm going to take down the size, and I'll change it to contact us like this. Contact us like this. Now, if you notice, I'll select these two and then just press center it here. I'm bring them closer. Now, if you notice, if I can change this color to red, I'll select the two shapes here. Change it to red. And then we're good to go. Red. And then what else? What other information do we need? What other information do we need, please? Okay, now if you notice, it looks good, but it looks flat. So how do we add some things to it? Let me go back to that my mood board. There was some background that I downloaded. Let me add some background that I downloaded. Okay, thank you. Name. The restaurant name. So let's look for a restaurant name. Mama Put. Let's change it. Let's choose Mama Put as our restaurant name. So I'm going to use this as my background. I will drag it down right directly on top of the background here, on top of this gradient that we use here. Now I'm going to try to change the blending mode. This is the blending mode here. I'm going to play around with the blending mode to see which one works better. Like this. I'm going to play around with it like this. Play around with this. I might end up not using it depending, please. So it's not really working well because it's red and the background too is red. So it's not really working. Let me see. It's not really working. It's not really giving. Okay, it's not really giving. So I'm going to delete it. I'm going to just delete it. I'm going to bring this other, I think there were like two. Oh, it's not bring the other one. Okay, let me bring this other one too down here and check if it's going to work. Remember this one. I'm going to scale it up. I'll try to increase change the blending mode as well and see whether this something work. Okay, I think this one is better. So we can actually do the opacity here like this. And do the opacity. Okay, I think it's looking better now. I think it's looking better now. So we can just leave it here. Now, okay, the restaurant name. What should be the restaurant name? The restaurant name. Mama Put. They use Mama Put. So I'm going to type Mama Put. Okay, like this. So I'm going to change this this one here to a script. Restaurant are good with script font, so I'm going to change it to a script. I'm just coming down here and select script. Just choose script. Somebody is trying to talk. Please mute your mic, or let's see something. Mr. Allen, please can you mute your mic? Okay, so here now the reason why you're seeing this is because we don't have it's all here, they're all in caps. So I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to turn off this cap here. So I have something like Mama Put. Let me just increase this. So we're just going to use it like that. So we're not, let me just increase it like this. Okay, so that's basically it. If you have any other thing, let me just leave this Mama here. That's going to be our logo for this. What else? What other information do we need? Definitely, we need to add every other details. Remember the other necessary detail. Maybe the other what's on their menu, stuff like that. You need to add all of them down here. So you can take your time now and work on it. So please, is there any question? Is there any other question? We've exceeded our time by 12 minutes. Please let me know if there's any question. On how I did something, please feel free. So if you look at the flyer, it has some kind of green leaves on it. So what I usually do is that for me to have that, achieve that green leaves, what I will do is that I'll come back here and then I'll click on, I'll type green leaves PNG. Green leaves PNG, like this. So I'm going to look for what, okay, I like this one. I like this one. Let me see. This one too is good. This one, anyone, whichever one that you choose. I'm just going to right click and take copy. I'm not going to download. Not have time. So I'll just bring it here. I'll just bring it here. And then now when you bring it here, you can just go to selection and then zoom in, go to selection, right click and take a quick selection. And then you can just do your quick selection like this and move it so it automatically select. Now when you select it like this, I don't know if you can see that is how it's selected. Can you see it, please? Let me know if you can see it. Let me know if you can see it. So I surely have a question when I go through the YouTube video. Please, when you have a question, just write it. Just ask me, or you can even comment under the YouTube video so I can answer it there. Okay, please let me know if you can see the selection here. Please, quick one. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to create a layer mask on this, or I can just I'm just going to create a layer mask on it by coming down here and press layer mask. This tool immediately after FX down here, called layer mask. I'm going to click on it. Once I click on it, it takes off the background. So once it takes off the background, now I'm going to convert it to a smart object. I'm going to convert this whole stuff to a smart object. Right click, convert to a smart object. Now I have this. And I'm going to have it like somewhere here. Now I'm going to make it look nicer. So I'm going to add it blur it a little bit so it's not that sharp. To blur it, I'm going to select it. Look, selected here. I'll go to filter. I'll go down to blur, and then I'll go to Gaussian blur. I'll blur it a bit like this. So that I want this restaurant to look fresh, so that when somebody see my flyer, the person will know that once I come here, this food is going to taste nice. It's going to be fresh, So that's why I'm adding this green. I mean, because green looks fresh. So same thing. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to rotate it to scale it down. Put it somewhere here. Somewhere here. So you can just play around with this or this, carry it up. Okay, please, another thing. It's good that whenever you're working on something, you should be grouping them. So I'm going to select all my text. I'm going to select the first text here. I'll go right to down to the last text. And then while pressing Shift, I'll select all, and then I'll press Ctrl G to group them together. I'll call it text. Okay, so you can have your location here. So you are going to, so for the assignment, you complete this exercise. So you're going to have my location here. Location. So this is here. So you're going to add your location, add every other thing, and then you complete the flyer. So please, you're going to complete the flyer here, this flyer. So you can position this anywhere you want, anyhow you want it. Just to make sure that the flyer looks fresh. All right. So you're going to complete it, and then you send it to me on WhatsApp. Please complete it. So far, okay, somebody asked a question. Please, I don't have a question, but I wish to find out if it's possible subsequently to use arrows while teaching so we can effectively see the tools you see. Okay, actually, this video is going to be in 4K. So meaning in 4K, you can actually, I don't know if it's 4K or Full HD, but whichever one, in such a way that you can actually zoom and see it clearly. Like you can zoom the video and you see it clearly without having any issue. So please don't worry. And also, I'll try to use arrow, of course, next time so you understand better. Thank you for the feedback. Okay, please let me know if there's any question. Any question, please. Okay, someone asked for dimension of a business card, if I still remember. So most of the time, if you want to design something like, let's say, a business card, all you need to do is to come to Google, just type business card dimension, and press enter. See, they're going to give you the dimension here. So 3.5 inches by 2 inches. So the 3.5 is is the width, while the 2 inches is the height. So with this, all you need to do is just to come to Photoshop. You create a new document by pressing Control N. That's the shortcut to create a new document. Control N. And then now you come here, you change this to, first of all, change the measurement here into inches. So the width here you put 3.5. Remember what they said, 3.5. And then the height here you put 2, and then you press enter. Now this is your business card size. So you can just start designing your business card and whatsoever. So this place we're going to design everything. I was just trying to show this to show you how to do it. Please let me know if there's any question. So you rotate your phone so you can see it clearly. Okay. Is there any question? Any questions so far, please let me know. Let me know. If there's another question, I'm going to stop the recording so that it's not that much. Actually, the recording text, when it's too long, it takes so much time to prepare it. That's why it took so long. It's here like that. Okay, if there's no question, then I'm going to stop the recording.